For the first time in history, one ruler governed lands stretching across continents, from the mountains of Central Asia to the deserts of Egypt to the shores of the Mediterranean. Caravans crossed royal roads, gold flowed through imperial treasuries, armies marched under banners of the Pharaoh Bahar, and at the center of it all stood a new idea, an empire not built only on fear, but on order. Cyrus had built the foundation, but his successors would transform Persia into something even greater, something unstoppable, something the ancient world had never seen before. A superpower. Chapter 1. The Rise of Cyrus. Before Persia ruled continents, before armies stretched from India to the Mediterranean, before kings were called King of Kings, there was a prophecy. According to legend, a Median king named Astyages had a dream. In it, his daughter gave birth to a child whose influence flooded Asia like a river. Terrified of losing his throne, Astyages ordered the child to be killed. But fate intervened. The infant was spared, raised far from court, hidden among shepherds. That child was Cyrus. Whether myth or history, the message was clear. Cyrus was destined for greatness. In the 6th century BCE, the Persian people were not yet rulers. They were subjects. The Persians lived in the rugged lands of modern-day Iran under the dominance of the Median Empire. The Medes were powerful, established, respected. The Persians were their vassals. But Cyrus was not content with submission. He united Persian tribes under his leadership. He built loyalty not only through fear, but through respect. Cyrus understood something revolutionary. Power did not only come from conquest, it came from unity. Around 550 BCE, he launched a rebellion against the Medes. It was bold, risky, but many Median nobles defected to his side. Astyages was overthrown. The Median Empire collapsed, and Cyrus became ruler of both Medes and Persians. It was the beginning of something unprecedented. Rather than destroying Median institutions, Cyrus integrated them. He adopted their administrative systems. He respected their elites. Instead of ruling through terror, he ruled through inclusion. This would become the foundation of Persian imperial strategy. But Cyrus did not stop there. To the west lay Lydia, a wealthy kingdom in Anatolia ruled by King Croesus. Croesus was famous for his riches. Gold flowed through Sardis. Confident in his strength, Croesus attacked Persia first. He miscalculated. Cyrus responded with speed. Persian forces advanced rapidly into Anatolia. In 546 BCE, Sardis fell. Croesus was captured. The Lydian kingdom became part of Persia. The Persian Empire now controlled vast trade routes and immense wealth. But the greatest conquest was yet to come. To the south lay Babylon. Babylon was not just a city. It was a symbol, ancient, magnificent, protected by massive walls, a center of culture, religion, and power. Most conquerors would have prepared for a long siege. Cyrus chose strategy. In 539 BCE, Persian forces diverted the Euphrates River. As water levels dropped, troops entered the city through the riverbed. Babylon fell with minimal destruction, and then Cyrus did something extraordinary. He did not sack the city. He did not massacre its population. Instead, he proclaimed himself liberator. He respected local traditions. He restored temples. He allowed displaced peoples, including the Jewish population, to return to their homelands. This act was recorded on what is now known as the Cyrus Cylinder. Often described as one of the earliest declarations of human rights, it symbolized Cyrus's governing philosophy: tolerance, integration, stability. Cyrus understood empire in a way few before him had. An empire held together by fear collapses quickly. An empire held together by loyalty endures. By the end of his reign, Cyrus ruled the largest empire the world had ever seen, from the Indus Valley in the east to the Mediterranean in the west, from Central Asia to Mesopotamia. For the first time in history, a single ruler governed multiple cultures, languages, religions, and peoples across vast territories. And yet, Cyrus did not call himself simply king. He adopted a grander title, King of Kings. It reflected the structure of the empire. Local rulers often remained in place as long as they were loyal. Satrapies were created, administrative provinces governed by satraps who reported to the central authority. Road networks connected distant regions. Communication improved, trade flourished. The Persian Empire was not just large, it was organized. Cyrus died around 530 BCE during a campaign in Central Asia. Even in death, legend surrounds him. Some accounts claim he died in battle against nomadic tribes. Others speak of heroic final stands. He was buried in Pasargadae. His tomb still stands today, simple, yet monumental. His legacy endured, because Cyrus had done something revolutionary. He proved that an empire could be vast and stable, powerful and pragmatic. His successors would expand the empire even further. But it was Cyrus who built its foundation. From shepherd boy to king of kings, from tribal rebellion to global superpower. The Persian Empire had risen, and the world would never be the same. In the next chapter, we will witness the reign of Darius the Great, the construction of Persepolis, the expansion of imperial systems, and the coming clash with Greece. The first superpower had been born. Now it would be tested. After the death of Cyrus, his son Cambyses II expanded the empire further. Egypt fell in 525 BCE. The Persian Empire now stretched from the Indus Valley to the Nile, but Cambyses' reign was unstable. Rebellions flared, political uncertainty spread, and then, in 522 BCE, a new ruler seized control. His name was Darius. Darius I, later known as Darius the Great. Unlike Cyrus, Darius was not the founder, he was the organizer, the architect of imperial structure. When Darius took power, revolts erupted across the empire. Babylon rebelled, Egypt resisted. Multiple provinces challenged Persian authority. Darius responded with ruthless efficiency. Campaign after campaign crushed rebellions. Stability returned. But Darius understood that military force alone was not enough. He restructured the empire into satrapies, administrative provinces governed by satraps. Each satrap was responsible for taxation, justice, and order. But to prevent corruption, military commanders and royal inspectors reported directly to the king. Checks and balances existed within imperial governance. It was revolutionary for its time. Darius standardized taxation. He introduced a stable gold coin, the daric. He invested in infrastructure. Roads connected the empire, including the royal road stretching over 2,500 kilometers. Messages could travel across vast distances in days rather than months. Trade flourished. Cultural exchange expanded. Darius did not erase local identities. He allowed diverse religions and traditions to continue. Temples were respected. Priests maintained influence. The empire was vast, but not uniform. At Persepolis, Darius built a ceremonial capital. Monumental columns rose toward the sky. Massive staircases depicted representatives from across the empire bringing tribute. Egyptians, Babylonians, Lydians, Indians, Medes, all united under the King of Kings. It was propaganda, but it was also reality. The Persian Empire was multicultural, multi-ethnic, multilingual, but no empire expands without resistance. To the west lay a collection of independent Greek city-states: Athens, Sparta, Corinth. The Greeks were divided, often fighting one another, but they valued autonomy fiercely. Around 499 BCE, Greek cities in Asia Minor, under Persian control, rebelled. Athens supported them. Darius saw this as direct defiance. He decided to punish Athens. In 490 BCE, Persian forces landed near Marathon. The Persian army was massive, experienced, professional. The Athenians were outnumbered, yet something unexpected happened. Greek hoplites charged. Heavily armored infantry smashed into Persian lines. The Persians retreated. It was a shocking defeat. Darius planned revenge, but he died before he could launch a second invasion. His son Xerxes would carry that ambition forward. In 480 BCE, Xerxes assembled one of the largest armies the ancient world had ever seen. Hundreds of thousands, according to Greek sources. Though modern historians debate the exact number, the scale was immense. Persian forces crossed into Europe. Bridges of boats spanned the Hellespont. The invasion began. At Thermopylae, a small Greek force led by King Leonidas of Sparta attempted to block the narrow pass. For days, they resisted. Then betrayal revealed a hidden path. The Persians flanked them. The Spartans made their last stand. Thermopylae became legend. But strategically, Persia advanced. Athens was captured and burned. Yet the Greeks were not defeated. At the naval battle of Salamis, the Greek fleet lured Persian ships into narrow straits. The larger Persian navy struggled to maneuver. Greek ships rammed and destroyed them. It was a turning point. Xerxes withdrew much of his army. The following year, at Plataea, Greek forces defeated remaining Persian troops. The invasion failed. The Persian Empire remained vast and powerful, but its expansion westward had been halted. For the first time, the superpower had met resistance it could not crush. Yet Persia did not collapse. It continued to rule enormous territories for over a century. Its administrative brilliance remained unmatched, its wealth immense, its cultural influence deep, but the myth of invincibility had cracked. And centuries later, another conqueror would rise from the west, a Macedonian king, young, ambitious, inspired by Greek resistance. His name would be Alexander, and he would challenge Persia at its core. In the final chapter, we will witness the later Achaemenid kings, internal weaknesses, and the unstoppable march of Alexander the Great. The first superpower still stood, but storms were gathering. Chapter 3. The Fall of a Superpower. For nearly 2 centuries, the Persian Empire had dominated the known world, from India to Egypt, from Central Asia to the Aegean Sea. It was vast, organized, wealthy. But empires do not fall in a single moment. They weaken gradually. After Xerxes, the empire remained powerful, but internal stability became fragile. Court intrigue increased. Succession disputes grew more common. Satraps gained influence and sometimes acted independently. Rebellions flared periodically in Egypt and Babylon. The administrative system still functioned, but cracks were visible. Meanwhile, in the West, Greece remained divided. Athens and Sparta weakened each other in the Peloponnesian War. Persia skillfully manipulated Greek politics, funding rival city-states to maintain balance. For a time, Persia regained influence in the region. But north of Greece, a new power was rising: Macedon. Under King Philip II, Macedon unified much of Greece. Philip reorganized the army, introducing the Macedonian phalanx, long spears, disciplined formations, deadly coordination. He planned to invade Persia, but in 336 BCE, Philip was assassinated. His son, Alexander, inherited the throne at just 20 years old. Young, brilliant, ambitious, he would attempt what others had only dreamed of: conquering Persia. At the time, Persia was ruled by Darius III. Unlike Darius the Great, Darius III inherited an empire already under strain. He faced revolts, internal rivalry, and now, a rapidly advancing Macedonian army. In 334 BCE, Alexander crossed into Asia Minor. The first major clash came at the Battle of the Granicus River. Persian satraps attempted to stop him. They failed. Alexander's forces advanced deeper into Anatolia. City after city fell. Some surrendered, others resisted and were destroyed. The empire's western defenses were collapsing. In 333 BCE, Alexander met Darius III directly at the Battle of Issus. Despite commanding a much larger army, Darius positioned his forces in a narrow coastal plain, limiting his numerical advantage. Alexander struck decisively. The Persian lines faltered. Darius fled the battlefield. It was a devastating psychological blow. For the first time, the King of Kings had abandoned his army. Alexander pressed forward. He moved south, securing the eastern Mediterranean. He captured Tyre after a brutal siege. He entered Egypt and was welcomed as liberator. He founded a city there, Alexandria, but the ultimate confrontation was still ahead. In 331 BCE, the two armies met again, this time on the plains of Gaugamela. Darius chose open terrain, ideal for his massive forces and war chariots. The Persian army was enormous: infantry, cavalry, scythed chariots, perhaps even war elephants. The battlefield stretched wide. Darius intended to overwhelm. Alexander adjusted. He extended his lines. He created gaps. He lured Persian forces into overextending. Then he launched a focused cavalry strike directly toward Darius. The battle became chaotic. Dust filled the air, steel clashed, chariots charged, and once again, Darius fled. His army collapsed. The road to the Persian heartland was open. Alexander entered Babylon without resistance, then Susa, then Persepolis, the ceremonial capital of the empire. The great palace built by Darius the Great stood before him, columns towering, reliefs carved with images of tribute from across the world. For a time, Alexander preserved it. Then, whether in drunken impulse or calculated symbolism, Persepolis was set ablaze. Flames consumed the heart of the Achaemenid Empire. The superpower of the ancient world had fallen. Darius III attempted to regroup in the east, but he was betrayed by his own satraps and killed while fleeing. Alexander found his body. He reportedly covered it with his cloak, a gesture of respect. By 330 BCE, the Persian Empire was no more, but its legacy did not vanish. Alexander adopted Persian dress. He incorporated Persian administrators. He married into Persian nobility. He retained elements of the imperial system, because even conquerors recognized the brilliance of Persian governance. The empire had fallen militarily, but its ideas endured. Centralized administration, road networks, multicultural integration, imperial law. The Achaemenid model influenced empires that followed. The Persians had been the first to truly govern continents, the first to connect East and West under one political structure. Their fall was dramatic, but their impact was permanent. Empires rise, empires dominate, empires fall. But some create blueprints that shape history for centuries. Cyrus had begun as a rebel. He became king of kings. Darius built the machinery of empire. Xerxes tested its limits, and Alexander brought it down. Yet the memory of Persia never disappeared. Because the first superpower had proven something essential, the world could be ruled. But ruling it required more than force. It required vision, and Persia had both.